Hello and welcome to the first year advising presentation for the College of Science. My name is Tom and I will be running through this presentation with you. This presentation has been culled and shortened time and time again to give you the most important information that you need to know about majoring in one of the science majors and how advising works from your first year to your last year. So bear with me, I'll try to make this as concise as possible. Grab a notebook, take notes along the way, because there's going to be only important information for you to know here. So let's get started. So first off, there is some important information on this first slide. We are the University Advising and Engagement Center. We also refer to ourselves as the First Year Advising Center. We see all students who are coming to college for the first time straight out of high school. You might be coming in with transfer credits, and we'll talk more about that, whether it was dual credit or some summer classes. That's okay if you've got some college experience. But generally speaking, we advise everybody straight out of high school. We are located in Ransom Hall, which is on campus across from University Center, and we can be reached at the following email, uaecscience@uta.edu. Now, if you were to look in MyMav and see a specific advisor listed to you, that's okay. You are still able to email us at this email. We have a team of science advisors, and any one of us can help you. If you were to stop by or schedule an appointment, you could meet with any one of us. And in a few slides, I'll show you how to do all of that. But first, I want to make sure that you're in the right place. So this is a list of all of the science majors at UTA in the College of Science. Look through this list, and if you don't see the major that you are looking to pursue, then you're probably in the wrong spot. And in that case, I want you to email uaecscience@uta.edu and let us know what you want your major to be so that we can get you directed to the correct place. If you do see your major on here, awesome, you are good to go. And as you can see, there's many departments. These are all within the College of Science, and each houses its own majors. And they have various requirements that we will talk about in a little bit more detail. But let's talk about how advising works at UTA. So UTA has a two-tiered advising system. As I mentioned, we advise all new students who are coming from high school. If you have some transfer credit, that is okay. But generally speaking, we're here to introduce you to UTA and to college life. The reason that we have this system is because we want to make sure that you get comfortable in getting your feet wet at UTA before you move on to take some tougher classes and really get secure in your major. So we help you decide if your major is correct for you, help you understand the program requirements. We make sure that you're getting started in the correct prerequisite courses, understanding what a balanced schedule looks like, and also helping you understand things like policies according to your degree plan and according to university. When you first get to UTA, it can be a bit intimidating. It is a culture shock because it is different from high school. You have more autonomy in terms of building your schedule. Your classes could be early in the morning, late at night, or anywhere in between. You get to decide. So we help you figure out what works best for you and answer a lot of questions that you might not know right off the bat. UTA also has lots of great resources and services that are free to you as a paying student, and so we want to make sure that you understand where to go when you need to go there. You can always ask us a question. We might not always be the best person to answer it, but we will make sure that you get to the right place. Now, once you meet the transitional requirements to go into the College of Science, you will be advised by the advisors in the department of your major, and they will be with you until you graduate. And there are transition requirements in order to make that transition, which I'm going to go over in the next slide, but I do just want to make clear that, oh, the slide moved for me. Let me stay back here just for a moment, just to say that once you transition to the College of Science, it is generally understood that you are secure and set to major in your major. I know that might sound a little confusing. Why, wouldn't you be, secure in your major? A lot of times when students come to college, they take a few classes in their major and then realize that it's not what they expected. It's not for them, or maybe there's too many math requirements and math is just not their thing. Whatever the purpose may be, We are here to help you figure out the right place for you, because once you transition, turning around and changing your major is a lot more difficult. You've already gotten through a lot of your core classes and prerequisites, and you're well on your way to, finishing in your major. So by the time you transition, if you were to switch majors then, you could have to do a lot of backtracking. And so we want to make sure that you're in the right spot. Now, once you have met the transition requirements, you will be advised by the department of your major, and these are the requirements. Generally speaking, you need 30 credit hours completed and a minimum GPA of 2.0. If you're a biology major, you also need a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.0 in your biology courses. If you're a psychology major, your cumulative GPA needs to be a minimum of 2.25. They have raised the bar. You also have to be complete in your Intro to Psychology class with a C or higher, and you also need a C or higher in a math class such as college algebra or contemporary math. If you're a math major, you need a C or a higher in Calculus 1. I want to go back and talk about the credit requirement and let you know that this does include transfer credits. So if you're coming to UTA with some college level courses completed, they will count towards those credits. In many cases, we have students who come in with an entire associate's degree, which is roughly 60 credits. So that is excellent. You have satisfied that requirement, but you still need to get the GPA. Transfer credits do not generate a GPA, only UTA classes do. So as a new student in your first semester, you do not have a GPA yet. You have to finish at least one semester with good grades. We're talking A's and B's. C's across the board are going to get you a 2.0, and that is not ideal. You want to aim for a higher than that to be a good student, to stay in good standing and not risk dropping below 2.0, and especially to be competitive if you're going into a health profession. So 30 credits and a 2.0 unless you're in one of the majors listed there, and you will be good to transition, whether that's after your first semester or your second semester. Sometimes we do advise students for longer. If they're struggling or haven't met the credit requirement yet, we will continue to advise you as long as we have to. But transitioning into the college is required for graduation, and we want it to happen sooner rather than later, preferably within 1 to 2 semesters. So who is my advisor? The QR code will take you to the advising website or webpage for our office, the first year office. Once you transition, we will share with you information on who your new advisors are and how to get a hold of them. However, for now, you can use this QR code to find our website. You would scroll down to where it says College of Science, and you're going to see several advisors listed there. As I had mentioned previously, you can reach out to or meet with any one of us. So even if you look in MyMav and you see that I'm your advisor, you can still meet with Jordan or Taylor or anybody else that's listed. If you click on the button that says in-person advising meeting or virtual advising meeting, it's going to show you a shared calendar with all of our availability. You can schedule with any one of us. It's not a problem. We are all here to help you. So if I go on vacation, somebody else is going to be here to get an answer to your question or help you get advised quickly so you don't have to wait for me to come back. Now, what are we going to do in these meetings? What do academic advisors help you with? So first and foremost, we help you get your advising hold removed. This is important because not a lot of students realize that you get an academic advising hold on your account every semester before the registration period opens for you to register for classes. This hold prevents you from enrolling in classes. So that means that in order to register for classes at the correct time, you need to meet with an advisor first. So for example, we are gearing up to go into the spring semester. And so we have begun advising as early as September through October for registration, which began in November. The next time we do advising will be for summer courses and fall courses, and that happens when students are in spring semester. So in late February and all through March, we will be advising to get ready and get everybody ready for registration, which happens in April. So it's important that you stay on top of getting an advising appointment scheduled, coming in for a drop-in appointment, reviewing our emails to make sure that you get on our schedule as soon as possible, and not saving this for the last minute. Now, in these meetings, we're going to check in on how your semester is going. If you're struggling in a class, we'll talk about what's the root cause of the issue, because that can help us figure out if there's a service or a resource on campus available to help you, or maybe if it's necessary to drop the class and take it again at another time. Or maybe it's necessary to change your major if this is an important class and it's just not working out for you. These difficult questions are things that we're here to help with. We'll also make sure that you're on track with your career goals, your degree plan, core requirements, and then of course we're going to help you get advised and help you understand which classes you need to register for the next term. Now, you're not off the hook. As I like to say, this is your education, it's your responsibility. So there's a lot of things that you need to do here. One, advisors won't always catch everything. So it's important for you to also be aware of policies, program requirements, dates, and deadlines. Also, sometimes we will mention something to you and you might miss it, you might forget. So it's always important to kind of take notes, to be aware of all of the important information coming through, and to ask questions. Ask questions, advocate for yourself. Stop by our office multiple times if you need to, email us if you need to. Submit important documents, just making sure that you are keeping on top of everything that is going to help you progress with your degree. Don't assume that somebody else is going to take care of it for you. It is your education. And the last point on here is one that is very important to me. Check your email regularly for important updates. We will email you regularly, not so much that we overwhelm you, but enough so that you are familiar with what important dates are coming up. My ask for you is that if you ever email us, include your name and your 10-digit ID and be clear about what you are looking for help with. Too often we get emails that don't include that information, so we don't know who is emailing us, we can't pull up their account, or it's unclear what they're asking for. So it's very important that you're practicing good communication skills. We have a shared inbox with multiple advisors going in there helping hundreds of students at a time, and it's important that you help us help you. There are other advisors and other types of advising that I do want you to be aware of. If you are looking to go to medical school, pharmacy school, dental school, or some other health profession after you graduate UTA, we have a health professions advising office. They have an amazing website. And as you can see here from the middle of this screenshot, it's got a frequently asked questions page that has tons of information. It's got tabs for every area of the health professions and includes a breakdown of all the things that you need to know for that specific area. And we have an advisor who will sit down with you, get to know you, give you tips on what you can do to be successful. And this could be somebody who is a future reference or writes a letter of recommendation. So this is somebody who you will want to get to know. So my recommendation is if you are interested in a health profession, go to Google, type in UTA pre-health, and that'll take you to this page. Start exploring, and it's never too early to set up a meeting with Sandy. She won't remove an academic advising hold. She won't advise you on your degree plan, but she will coach you through your educational journey at UTA to prepare you for a career in the health professions. Now, similarly, we have a great program in the College of Science called UTeach Arlington. This allows you to get a certification for a K through 12 teaching alongside your degree, whether teaching is something that you intend to do or it's something that you want to have as a backup plan. If you're not sure whether this is for you, but you're curious, the first class is something that you could take. Not really any strings attached. You can take it, and if you decide it's not for you, then you don't continue with the program. However, if you're interested, you can obviously continue, and I would recommend reaching out to Dr. Erin Philp, whose information is here. She runs the program and can help you get more involved. The first class that you would take is SCIE 1201, and that is going to include visits to a local elementary school where you would observe classes and then lead a lesson. The class itself is not going to include any tests or quizzes or assignments. It's mainly based on discussing your experiences from the classroom. So this is a great opportunity that I would encourage you to consider. Okay, so as I had mentioned, advisors help you understand and build your degree plan. So what does this entail? We're going to talk about transfer credits, test credits, math placement, and the amount of credits per semester, all as they pertain to a science major. First and foremost, previously earned credits. It is your responsibility to make sure that your official transcripts and official test scores are sent to UTA. So this includes dual credit or transfer credit. If you did dual credit, which means that you took college level courses in high school, you need to make sure that the transcript from the college where you took them is sent to UTA. So this is different from your high school transcript. This is not something that your counselor will send. You need to go to your profile at the school where you took classes and request to have your transcript sent to UTA. If you are corresponding with an advisor and your credits have not been reached to UTA yet, you need to make sure that you're clear about that with your advisor. Because if you are ever advised to take a class that an advisor was not aware you had credit for already, it is your responsibility to catch that for them. We don't know what we don't know, and so we need your help in making sure that everything looks correct. As I had mentioned, test credit is another part of this. So if you have AP scores that are high enough to get you credit for a class or IB scores that are high enough, go to the College Board or the IB organization's websites and send that information over. Make sure that you're also letting us know in terms of your advising so that we don't tell you to take classes that you might already have credit for. Now, it's important to note some of these things take some time to get to UTA. They're not necessarily immediately sent over, and when they get here, they have to be processed onto your account by individuals at UTA. So it takes a little bit of time. It's not immediate. So again, it's important that you are staying on top of these things and keeping your advisor informed. So math placement and the ALEX math placement exam. This is a big topic and an important one. Pretty much every major at UTA, or specifically in the College of Science, has some level of math. Many of them require Calculus 1. So we ask that everybody takes the ALEX math placement exam. This is the only way for you to get into Calculus 1. You would need a score of 76 or higher in order to get into Calculus 1. Pre-calculus credit is not going to get you into Calculus 1. But the ALEX placement exam is also helpful because your score helps us determine which math is best for you. If your degree starts at Calculus 1, but you take the ALEX and you score between a 0 and 60, that's basically telling us that you are not ready for Calculus 1 and you need to start at college algebra. That's okay. You can work your way up. You will be a little bit behind in math, but it's important that you get the education that you need to be successful in these classes. You won't be successful in Calculus 1 if you don't have a college algebra and pre-calculus education and foundation. You could score between 61 and 75 and start at pre-calc. That works too. And ultimately, even after going through these classes, you will still have to take the ALEX to get into Calculus 1. If you have previously earned credit for college algebra, that can get you into pre-calc. If you have previously earned credit for Calculus 1, then you don't have to take the ALEX. If your degree requires a higher level math, then we will probably advise you to take that higher level math. But if your degree ends at Calculus 1, then we can move on. And I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like for a biology major. So if you are a biology major and you take the ALEX and score 0 to 60, then you would start in college algebra. We would also want you to take a biology class, so we're going to start you with the first one, Bio 1441, and then we're going to fill in the rest of your schedule with core classes. Now, if you scored a 61 or higher, that makes you eligible to take general chemistry. So as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, there's no math classes. That's because biology majors in particular don't have a lot of math. They do have to complete calculus, but that's about it. Chemistry, on the other hand, there's a lot of chemistry classes, so we'd rather get you started in biology and chemistry and then save math for possibly maybe a summer term. So as you can see, your ALEX score really influences the classes that you can take and what we would advise. We ultimately want you to be the most successful student that you can be and take the classes in the optimal order. So scoring a 61 or higher doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to take another math class. It could mean that it just opens up other classes for you that are more important to take at this time. All right, let's talk about registering for classes. So there are some barriers for registering for classes. If you have any type of TSI hold, whether you are TSI liable or TSI not complete, you should contact the TSI advisor in the TSI office. You will likely have a different advisor until you are TSI complete. So make sure that you check in on this because this will impact your advising. You also may be held back from registering for classes if your high school transcript is not in and your classes could be incorrect, or you might not be able to enroll in certain classes if the prerequisites are not on your account yet, which is why it's important that you get your transfer credits into UTA. So send all your documents in, because if I'm telling you to take biology 1442 because you told me that you have credit for 1441 but that's not on your account yet, I got to get that transfer credit in. The ALEX Math Placement Exam kind of works the same way. If you don't have an ALEX score on your account, you can't enroll in higher level math classes, and by default you would have to take college algebra. But if you are a math whiz and you would ace the ALEX with flying colors, take it. There's no reason you should be starting in a lower level math if you can start in a higher level math and get ahead with your degree. Last thing on here is enrollment preventing holds. The advising office is only responsible for the academic advising hold. So we cannot remove other holds. We cannot remove international holds. We cannot remove meningitis holds. We cannot remove transcript holds. There are different offices for each of those. So it's important that you look at this list and also read the additional information provided in each hold and contact those offices for additional help. We can only remove the advising hold, and that happens once you have been advised. All right, important dates as they relate to registering for classes and where to find them. The academic calendar. This is something that you want to make your friend. Visit the academic calendar. Just go to Google UTA academic calendar and go to the spring 2026 section and put these into your own personal planner. You want to know when the first day of classes is. You want to know when there are days that it's a holiday that you don't have to come to school. You want to know the last day to drop a class. That is an important one. When are exams? When does the semester end? All of these are important dates that you need to know. For the spring 2026 semester, registration has already begun, so as soon as you get advised and your hold is removed, you will be able to register for classes. That lasts all the way up until the first day of classes, but here's another important piece of information. Classes are filling up. As soon as registration opens, students start enrolling in classes and taking up seats. So it's important that as soon as you're able to register, because those seats will continue to fill and you will miss out on the opportunity to take classes that you need, or if the class is still available, it might only be available at times that are not ideal. So if you're a morning person, but you only see classes that start at 6 p.m. or later, then that might be your only choice, and we want to try to avoid that. Register as soon as possible. Don't save it to the very end. When you go to register for classes, A lot of them are going to be on wait list. That means that the class is full. There are no seats and there's only a wait list. As you can see from our list here, the cons outweigh the pros. Joining a wait list does more bad than it does good. The good is that there's a chance you could get enrolled in that class. If you join a wait list and you're number one on that wait list and a student drops, you will get added to the course. If you're number 10 on the wait list, 10 students would need to drop that course in order for you to get added. It's not very likely. And even if you're number one, there's still a good chance that nobody will drop that class. There is no guarantee that you will get added. So the best practice is to talk to your advisor and find another section of that same class that's open, or find another class that you can take that is open, and then save the waitlisted class for another semester. There are also ways of going about it. You can add a different class to your schedule, and then stay on the wait list for that one class, and maybe you'll get added, so then you can drop the backup option. So there are little things you can do like that as well. Talk to your advisor, figure out what the best plan of action is. The wait list is no guarantee that you'll get in the class, and we want you to be enrolled full-time, preferably in as close to 15 credits as possible, making good progress on your degree. Okay, last thing before I show you an example of what registration looks like is your toolkit. UTA has My UTA, which gives you access to everything that you need. This is also an app that you can download onto your phone. The big bright orange button on here says MyMav Student Login. This is going to take you to MyMav, which is your official record of transfer credits, final grades, financial aid, bills, all kinds of things like that. MyMav has everything. Underneath that, you're going to see a button that says Canvas. Now, Canvas is what instructors use to post information about the class that you're in, such as the syllabus. Maybe they post assignments, maybe you turn in assignments, you might even take tests or quizzes on Canvas. So use this for your classes, but also understand that the grade posted on Canvas is not always up to date. Your final grades, once the semester is over, will be posted in MyMav, and that is what you should go by. If you're not sure about your grade in a class that you are currently taking, talk to your instructor. On My UTA, you also have access here to your email, which is Outlook, and another number of other resources that are important. The academic calendar, the map, the parking map, emergency, IT help, and more. Okay, let's talk about registration. And when I say that, I mean, let's look at registration. I am going to stop sharing my screen so that I can switch over to another screen. So give me one moment. Okay, cool. Here we are on a new screen. So what we're looking at now is we are looking at an example of Mav Planner. This is a new system that we are using to map out your degree plan. So what that means is this is going to be a template of the classes that you're required to take for your degree. And I'm going to walk you through it. So for this student, who is actually an advisor, not a student, this is just a fake template, we're going to pretend that this is a biology student admitted for the 25-26 school year. Now, this student, let's say they came in with credit for English 1301 and political science. So I created a separate column over here. The earliest that I could go is fall 21, just to set it apart from everything else, saying that they have previously earned credit for these classes. Now, if this is a current student, they're taking classes in the fall. So these are the classes that they're taking here. And then I'm going to be advising them to take these classes in the spring. This entire system is very malleable. We can move things around. Can't delete things. Only an advisor can do that. But we can move things around. All of these classes follow a certain order. Now, classes like genetics here, for example, the only prerequisite to that class, and I'll show you, if I click on it, Biology 1441. That's a class that's being taken in the student's first semester. So I might advise that earlier. or I might advise it later. It depends on my conversation with that student. Some of these tiles are placeholders. Right here you see language, philosophy, and culture. That is a category within the core curriculum. So the core curriculum is something that every student has to complete. They have to complete 2 political science classes, 2 history classes, 1 creative arts class, and 1 language, philosophy, and culture class. There's a separate list for that that we won't get into now, but this tile is a placeholder for that category. So if you're ever advised to take a language, philosophy, and culture class, you'll figure out which class you want to take, and then you'll go into this tile and you'll select it from the drop down. I'm going to leave it blank for now. All right. Now, if I were to make this the primary degree plan, you'd see this schedule button here for this student. So if they're going to go enroll in spring classes, they're going to hit schedule, and it's going to take these classes and bring them over to Mav Scheduler. If there was a placeholder, you would have to select the course for that placeholder. Otherwise, it's not going to send it over to Mav Scheduler. So let's see. Click Scheduler. It takes a minute. We're going to select a regular academic session because it's a fall or a spring. Continue. We're going to select all instruction modes. So we want to see online options, we want to see in-person options, and hybrid. All of that can be changed up here at any time. Here's the classes we're looking for. I'm going to unselect a few of these. It looks like this has been used for many different examples. Let's go with these 3 classes right here. That looks good. Now, if you work, if you commute, if you're a part of an organization, anything that you do where you can't be in class, add a break. Build in times that you're not able to take class. That way, when this generates schedules, it will avoid those times. Let's see what happens. So right now we're looking at these 3 classes. Chem 1442 happens to be full, so we'll just look at 2 classes. 188 schedules. That's a lot to look through. So if we add in breaks, that will narrow it down. If you click View on the first one, it shows you that schedule in detail. So for Bio 1442 and English 1302, this is one option. You can click up here and see the second option, so some details have changed, different instructor, face-to-face. If you scroll down here, you can see what it looks like on a calendar. Now, to narrow this number down even more, lock in courses. If you heard that this is a great professor and this time fits your schedule, lock it in. Now it's going to show you schedules where this class is secured, but this class might be different. We're down to 10 options that we have to look through. Next thing that you're going to do is once you find the schedule you like, you're going to click that validate button. These classes need permission, so you wouldn't be able to enroll in these classes, but what you want to see is a green check mark that says OK to enroll. That tells you that there's no restrictions on these classes. If you see department consent is required or permission is required, all you need to do is find a different section. Classes that are restricted for a reason. It's because there is a specific group that was told that they could take those classes. It might be a graduate program of students that were assigned to that specific section. It might be a residence life learning community. It might be an honors college group, and so on. Once you get all the green check marks, you send it to your shopping cart, and you are done. That is Mav Scheduler and Mav Planner. I'm going to stop sharing, go back. We got a couple more slides, and then you will be well on your way. All right. So last but not least, stay connected with us. We have an Instagram page where we will also, in addition to emailing you, we will also share important updates, dates on the calendar, drop deadlines coming up, things like that, as well as advisor spotlights and so on. So please join us on Instagram, keep up with us. You want to make sure that you maintain a good relationship with the advising office because we are here to support you, and this is a crucial part of your academic journey. And that is all. I want to thank you for joining me on this presentation. Remember, if you need anything, you can stop by Ransom Hall, or you can email us at uaecscience@uta.edu. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.